Episode 21. That little boy is his son? The rumors spread almost overnight and shocked everyone. The outside world had always considered Bryce to be a cold-hearted person who couldn't have an intimate relationship with any woman. How could he suddenly have a child? When Bryce's parents heard the news, they treated it just as any other rumor. If their ice-cold son really did have a child, they would probably die from happiness. The butler showed them the picture he had secretly taken at the hotel the night before. It was a picture of a little boy pulling at Bryce and looking cute, and the child in the photo looked just like Bryce when he was young. His parents couldn't contain themselves any longer. They looked too similar. Something was up. Bryce heard the rumors but paid no attention. It was a joke. But as he looked at the little boy eating his cake, he felt the beginning of a headache as he recalled everything that had happened that morning. At first, when he found out that Natalie had been kidnapped by her family, he thought there would be trouble, so he prepared to let his subordinates handle the matter. He already had a lot of work to do. But when he tried to leave Liam at the hotel to be taken care of, the boy immediately broke down. Tears flowed down his face as he pulled on Bryce's sleeve and refused to let him go.
Dad, don't leave me behind. Mom hasn't come back yet. I don't want to be alone. I want to go where you go, please.
The little guy cried his eyes out. He continued to pull yesterday's tricks, which left Bryce at his wit's end since he didn't dare to hit him. Liam wasn't even afraid when Bryce told him off, so he had no choice but to bring the boy with him. This was also why the rumor had spread even further that morning. Bryce was at work. He looked at Liam, who was eating with relish on the couch, and put his head in his hands. He could only hope to rescue that troublesome woman quickly so that they wouldn't have to deal with each other anymore. An abrupt knock on the door broke Bryce's train of thought. He lifted his head, and a subordinate came in to deliver a report. When the man entered and saw the cute little boy sitting on the sofa, he was stunned for a moment, but it only took him a second to cover up his curiosity. Having worked for Bryce for so many years, he knew him well, and even though he was very curious, he didn't dare to say anything. Reporting to Bryce was torture for this man. The little boy was so cute that it hurt to stop himself from walking over and pinching his cheek. But Bryce was there. He shoved down the idea, but when he left, he couldn't help taking a few more glances at the boy. Just as the man was about to leave, he bumped into Bryce's parents, who had rushed over when they heard the news. He was about to greet them, but they didn't even look at him. They walked straight over to Bryce. "Son, tell us what has happened." Michelle was an impatient person. She showed Bryce the photo right away, too distracted to notice that Liam was sitting on the sofa. Bryce could feel another headache coming on. "Why are you guys here?" he asked with a frown. He felt like ever since he had met that woman, he couldn't catch a break. "How could we not come? You have a child? What's going on? Where is he now?" Bryce peeked at the couch behind Michelle. It was only then that his parents noticed Liam, who was sitting there eating cake. Noticing that people were staring at him, the little fellow stared back. His innocent expression made him look extremely adorable. He licked the cream off his fingers. He felt like these old people were very kind, and he greeted them. Liam, who spoke softly, didn't care, but Michelle and Robert, who were listening to him, paid close attention. Hearing this childish greeting, Bryce's parents' hearts trembled for an instant. They immediately walked over to Liam. Even Robert, who usually didn't smile, felt completely entranced when he saw him. Not only was he adorable, but he was also endearing. More importantly, he looked just like Bryce when he was young. With a curious heart, Robert asked, "Little guy, what's your name?" Liam blinked his big eyes and answered,
My name is Liam.
Bryce's parents looked at each other and saw the surprise in each other's eyes. Michelle moved closer to Liam and hugged him. "Liam, tell Grandma who your mother is." These questions caught Liam off guard. Just as he was about to reply, Bryce walked over. Seeing him, Liam was very happy. He forgot to answer and instantly called out sweetly,
Dad!
Bryce frowned. This little guy was doing it on purpose. When Michelle heard this, she could not sit still any longer. She looked at Bryce reproachfully and said, Tell us what happened. The child is calling you Dad. Who is his mother? Did you leave her after she got pregnant? Has she come looking for you yet? Michelle had already accepted Liam as her grandson. She didn't know why she had this strange feeling, but she had felt very close to him the moment she saw him. Veins popped out on Bryce's forehead. Suddenly, the image of Natalie's face appeared in his mind, and he became extremely agitated. He patiently explained to his parents, Liam is not really my son. He just calls me Dad. His mother never denied it and misled him. Bryce felt that he shouldn't have been so soft-hearted as to help that woman and cause so much trouble for himself. But despite his explanation, his parents did not believe him. Anyone could tell that Liam wasn't lying. Robert looked at his son reproachfully. Bryce once again felt frustrated. He did sleep with multiple women, but was always very careful. He had never encountered anything like this. He believed that he never slept with Natalie, so how could he be the father? Suddenly, something flashed through his mind. He didn't know the woman from the night 5 years ago when he had been set up. Bryce looked at Liam, who was still in Michelle's arms. He felt shocked. It's been 5 years since that incident took place, and this little guy looked like he was nearly 5 years old.